Good morning, everyone. My name is Robin Brown, and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! This morning, we're going to be making 4 cards, and we are going to be using the Fresh Cut Flowers stamp set and the Splendid Thoughts stamp set and their matching dies. And also we'll be working with one whimsical card using the Bewitching bundle. Actually, just using the stamp set at this time. We also have some other stamp sets that will be part of the group, and that would be Peaceful Moments and Quiet Meadow. That's all we have for this morning. As always, I would be happy to be your demonstrator if you don't have one. There's lots of things coming out with Stampin' Up! They're coming out with a new weekly special. I believe it is today that comes out. So check on my online store at www.robinbrown.stampinup.com, and you can see the things that are on sale. Also, we're coming up on the end of the Perfect Partners promotions. So if you haven't had time to take advantage of that, now is the time to do that. I have posted a host code in your email. Please use that for orders $150. We'll use that for orders below $150. Anything over $150, don't use the host code, get the rewards for yourself. You'll meet the minimum requirement for a 10% discount on your purchase when you hit the $150 mark. Okay, and if you're interested in joining my team, that's another thing that can happen to get yourself an automatic 20% discount on all the items you purchase from yourself. You do not have to hold classes or teach classes or do anything else in order to get that discount, and there's no obligation to keep doing it once you've started. So once again, welcome you all this morning, and as soon as my customers get here, I'll restart the video and we'll start having some fun making cards. Talk to you later. Like always, I'll take out any extra stuff. So I looked on Stampin' Up! This morning and did not see anything new yet on the weekly deal, but there is supposed to be something that comes out today, according to what I read. It's either today or tomorrow. Do you remember what day I told you, Lynn?
I thought you said today, but
yeah, I think it is.
I wouldn't trust that.
So anyway, that is
record this, Robin. It records the whole screen, right? So our pictures are on there, or just your screen is on there?
Yeah, your picture's up there, but if you don't want your picture up there, just turn your video off. And it'll just be your name will show up.
It's all right. It's just I don't look my best.
Yeah. I have it what they call spotlighted so that this stays in the middle. All right, so this first card we're going to do today, I made into a kind of a wedding or anniversary kind of card. This host code, by the way, closes Friday. So, and it's using the Fresh Cut Flowers stamp set and matching dies. This down here is Whoops, I got the wrong one up here. This one. This one here, it uses these stylish shaped dies, but you can make any banner, but this one happens to have a nice stitching around the edge that I like. And then the Fresh Cut Flowers has a die set called Fresh Cut Stems, and that cuts out the flower and this cute little border. So I can find all my stuff, which I thought I had all lined up to go, but you know how that goes with me. Let's see what we have in here. All right.
What was the name of the banner one again, Robin?
Stylish Shapes.
Okay.
It's replacing the.
Look them up in the catalog. So.
Yeah, it's. Let me see where that's at. It's in the large catalog. And that would be under die cut. Let's see. Something of its own. There it is. Stylish Shapes is on page 175. The dies fit in the mini. And if you cut the paper down, they fit in the mini. You can't use the large paper to go through there, but you can use the scrap of paper. It's number 159183. And that shows them on page 50. The use of them is shown on page 50. So trying to find, I put one of these and didn't. All right, well, anyhow, I die cut one of the flowers. Well, I stamped and then die cut, but you know. So, and then I have my Stamparetta set up so that you can just load a die cut in here, like so. And then just stamp them over and over. And you'll have a little surprise in your kits this week, if you know what I mean.
Got it.
And we'll leave a big pause there. All right, so you don't need this for anything else in this particular. So you'll have some linen thread and a tiny little bow. And be careful, this bow is not a fork bow, so it will slide on you. So either put a dot of clear glue on there or just make sure you get it glue dotted down as soon as you can. Alrighty, so first thing I'm going to do after die cutting that flower out is I'm going to color it. And we're going to use a little bit different coloring technique than we normally have done. I'm going to put out a block. You just need a clear block. And I'm going to use light mint macaron. I'm sorry, dark mint macaron. The soft succulents were a little bit too dark, so I'm going for a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter, I wanted to go. So you're just going to take your alcohol marker, or you can use your regular marker and color your block. Can't even see it on there, barely. And then I have some alcohol, and it doesn't matter what kind, either 70 or 91. I have some alcohol in a spritzer, and I'm going to spritz it on the block. And then, because our Wink Estella is a alcohol-based brush, you can pick up this color with your Wink Estella, and then kind of, not to get too dark, a little dark on some of them. And I'm just coloring like the center of the flower a little bit. And you'll get that little bit of glittery. If you don't want to use it this way, this is just something new that I learned. If you don't want to do it this way, you can just color it and then Wink Estella it after. But this is kind of cool. And then you would just take your Wink Estella and wipe it until it's clear to clean it off. That's all there is to it. So you got a little bit of a blush of green color there with a little sparkle. Okay. I always add more Wink Estella without picking up the color if you want it to sparkle a little bit more. Yeah. Sure, I have no color in there anymore. But... And then this just wipes off with whatever. Wipe it off with whatever. Alcohol swab would work really well. And then I'm going to get out my soft succulent markers, and I'm going to just color the leaves the same way I normally do, light and then dark, or just plain light and no dark. But since you only have that little blush of green on the flowers, you only need a little bit of light coloring on the leaves. Bottom of that flower up there. There's a little flower here that has 3 little polka dots. I'm going to color those. If you want to go full-blown color on this, you can as well. Soft succulent mint macaron. I'm going to go back and get a little color on those other that I missed on the bottom here. Little heart-shaped flowers in there, just tiny little ones. Rejuvenate my block with another spritz of alcohol. Here. These are the ones I forgot down here. Just a little bit of it. This kind of makes them look like a really pale lime green. All right. Then we're going to stamp our inside sentiment. Both of these white pieces are not the same size. There's one that's a 1/4 inch smaller. And so that one is going to go on the inside. And we are going to stamp it with, oh, that's the Love and Laughter Forever After. That is from Forever Fern. That there. If you, it's best wishes on the front, so you could put happy birthday in there as well, or happy anniversary. Soft succulent, are you hiding somewhere? You are hiding over here where I put you so I could find you. That's why I can't find you. All right, so this card is going portrait wise. All right, so then we have pretty much, oh, the outside sentiment.
You may have said this at the beginning when I was writing something else down, but do the fresh cut flowers that you're using have dies that go with them?
Yes, they
Cut
do.
that out.
They're called
It's not a bundle. You'd have to
yeah,
do.
it's a bundle. Let me see. I have it right here though.
Okay.
Fresh cut stems. Fresh cut stems, you said.
Stems.
Fresh cut stems, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I use Nature's Prints and I put them up here. There we go. I use the Best Wishes. I have so many things mounted up that I can't find them all. In this box. Well, I guess they don't have to be in this box, but I thought I was being more organized. See if I can slip them in somewhere else. A great big stamp. There it is. And with another card, of course. All right. So that would get stamped on this stylish shapes banner. And then I did go around that with a sponge dauber. Think of the edge on there a little. All soft succulents. The only thing that I used a different color for was the flowers, because I wanted them to stand out just a little bit from the rest of things. Before we make a mess. And so then the rest of it is putting it all together. And we're going to take this piece, and your directions will tell you that this is cut at 4 1/16 wide before you cut it off. And then when you finish cutting it off, it makes it the 4-inch. And then this background piece behind it is 4 1/8. So you have a tiny itty bitty little border around this particular thing. So glue to glue that down, or tape runner. I would not put any tape over the little border, but this die is in the die set that cuts out the flower. And then that gets mounted on the front of the card. And this piece, I wanted to give you another piece of soft succulent, but I didn't have any. So this piece is sort of like a dark, soft sea foam, which I think it coordinates with everything pretty well. Now this one has an itty bitty little border. You thought the other border was little. This one's even littler. Feel free to cut these down if you have trouble with borders. I evidently have trouble with borders because get that one straight. There we go. All right, and then this piece is a piece of the DSP from Splendid Day DSP, which is one that comes in a package that looks like this, all kinds of foil pieces. This is Sahara sand and copper, and this particular piece is labeled as soft sea foam. There's also a pool party one in there. So if you don't have greens, you could do the whole setup in a pool party monochrome kind of look. And it just gets placed on the right-hand side. Whoops, I clunked my camera. I figured out some of the problem with the camera, and believe it or not, it only happens when it's plugged in to charge. So, I'll figure, have it charged up and you won't have a problem. As long as it's not sitting in the charger. So tiny little border on that as well. Did I tell you the dimensions of that? No, I put it up there, but it's 2 inches wide by 5 1/8. So that's that. Then on the back of this, oh yeah, well, you have this little sprig in there too. And I actually cut this branch off and used it as 2 pieces. I just snipped it here. I'm gonna lay it out here and find out where I want those little sprigs to come out. I think there would look nice. And I think the other one up here would look nice, kind of like so. So that's where I would want those. Sure, that worked real well, right? Ah, golly. So, anyway, I'm gonna trim this one up a bit. And I'm going to put liquid glue on there. A little drop here. Out of that center piece. There we go. And then this one in here. See how that comes about. That'll look good. Now, the first thing you want to put on though is your banner so that you, when you place your flower, you have enough, you have enough room for it. So I'm going to put my banner on down there at the bottom. Put it even with the bottom of the DSP piece. And then on this one, we're going to do that wrapping of the twine. I know I laid down here and told you there was linen thread in it, but I did with it, I don't know. Probably fell on the floor. I was telling Barbara just before I turned the camera on, I bumped my drink and my 32 ounces of lemonade went all over the floor, right in front of where I sit. That wasn't that
A
fun.
sticky mess to clean up.
Actually, it's diet, so it shouldn't be too sticky, but yeah. All right, so the dealio on this, and this is kind of optional. But if you want to make it look like the one that I made, I have a glue dot here. I'm putting it on the very back of this stem. The back. And then I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm going to stick the end of it on that glue dot. And then I'm going to begin to wrap it around. Wrap it around and around and around, so that it's butting right up against itself. You kind of got to hold it tight. This is supposed to make it look like there's a little bit of burlap on the bottom. I don't know how critical that is. If you don't want to mess with it, just leave it off and just put the little bow there. And then when you get down to the bottom, then you go all the way back up, covering in any spaces you may have left open. And then you stick the other end of it in that first glue dot that you put there. Push it down into that glue dot and snip off the edge. And that you should have enough to make another bow if you want to, but you know. Oops. Alrighty, and then I'm going to stick my dimensionals on the back here. And I am going to put some dimensionals on top of that little green thing, just to kind of hold it in place a little. I do like that. I actually have the large dimensionals. I actually found some and had them ready. One more. There we go. That should work. I don't have trouble getting the paper off the large ones. It's off the little ones that I have to trouble. All right. I'm just going to turn this over and place it however. I like this way a little better than the other one. Okay. And then I have micro glue dots. If you don't have micro glue dots, if you don't have micro glue dots, take one of the large ones and roll it up into a little ball and put it on the back side of that bow. Put the bow on your floral piece. At the top of the basket, and then you can trim off these fiddly little ends. And then the last thing is to put the inside sentiments in. Right here. Shouldn't mess with the light. You could also take your floral piece and stamp another flower on the inside of here before you mount that up. But there you are. Made 3 of them so far.
Very pretty.
So that's Nature's Prince, Fresh Cut Flowers, Forever Fern, and the dies are Fresh Cut Stems. Our next card is going to be something I created. Well, I didn't create. I take that back. I copied from one of my favorite designers, Debbie Cronister. And I thought it was cute because it was whimsical for Halloween.
Oh,
Okay, and that uses the Bewitching stamp set.
oh, good. I have that.
It does not use the it comes with a matching punch, which punches out these hats, which is cute. But I didn't use the punch. I just used the stamp for the feet here. And the sentiments I use say, we'll get through this together. And I promise on the inside. And that's from the Here Together stamp set, which was something that you could
Mhm.
order during the summer time. It was like a special edition thing. So no worries. You'll have access to that. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
This pumpkin comes from Hello Harvest that we used in the last class. And it's,
Is it back in stock?
pardon?
Is it back in stock?
I didn't
I
check.
had tried ordering.
Yeah, I did not check the
I-
inventory, but a lot of the things that were out of stock were supposed to come in on the 26th of September.
Okay,
So I have to check that.
I can check it, yeah.
Yeah. And her sentiments were from a stamp set called Thoughtful. It's a current stamp set, and I don't remember. But her words up there said, "You're doing better than you think." So it's an encouragement card of some sort. You can put happy birthday up there if you like. You can change this around to anything. Happy Halloween, whatever. I'm using pumpkin pie for the pumpkin. She used Highland Heather. I did not have any. I'm sorry, Gorgeous Grapes she used. I didn't have any Gorgeous Grapes, so I substituted in the new I'm trying to get this light right, and I'm just not happy with it. That's a little better. I used the new Orchid Oasis. So it's a purple, but it's more toward the blue than anything else. Oh, Barbara's got this cute little squirrel watching. That's a cute one, Barbara. Oh, got a little squirrel emoji, or maybe it's a chipmunk. Not sure. Rabbit. Rabbit. Okay, so going to need that, and you can use either the Orchid Oasis blends or markers. Then I stamped previously, and the witch's feet. Now, when you're stamping this, make sure that your sentiment is upright, but your feet are upside down. I didn't think it was going to be a problem until I actually tried to do it, and it was, it's that left brain, right brain kind of thing that it mixes you up a little bit. So, and then when you glue it on the front, you think you should put it this way because feet always go downward, but then your sentiment would be upside down. So careful what you're doing there. And I'm going to take some dark Daffodil Delight and color her buckles on her boots. Use any kind of yellow, and it might even look cute with the gold metallic if you have one, a gold metallic marker. And then I took the I used a light orchid oasis. Let's see if it was too light on. And I colored the stripes on her box. So that's all the coloring on the witch portion. Now there's a piece of this in your kit. On the back side, this is from Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper. And on the back side of the pumpkin image are these stripes. So what I did was took this and kind of laid it on here because with these blends, I kind of try to save as much as possible. And I just put a dot where the edge of the paper was so that I knew I didn't need to color all the way into that paper, but I needed to get at least this far. So, and then I backed up about 1/4 of an inch. And that way I felt I was saving some ink. And the new in color Stampin' Right markers will work just as well. Just be a little mindful of the, well, you don't need to worry because this is printed on paper. I don't think it's going to smudge this at all. Those. Then I'm going to take light and dark pumpkin pie. I thought I was going to take light and dark. There I am. I'm going to color the pumpkin. And then when I cut the pumpkin out, I am just going to cut the stem off. So we don't need to color all the way up in the stem. But the same as I always do, I always go around the outside and any dark black colored areas with the dark marker. Shading. Go to the inside with the light. Good. If you wanted to, you can go back over these black marks with your dark pen. Really isn't doing a whole lot, so as long as you kind of darken that area to begin with, I think it'll be fine as far as shading goes. Make your pumpkin look round and plump. All right, so then we're gonna, this does have a die to cut it out, but since you're not using the stem, you gotta cut it real close there. It looks better if you just fussy cut the whole thing out. So that's what I did. And I always, when I fussy cut, I always split the black line. Make sure I get a little of the black line showing but not any of the white edge. You can also take the edge of your marker and color around the side of the paper so that you don't have that dark looking white edge. Or you can put it in your stamp pad on the edge or go around it with a sponge dauber. It's really picayune, I guess my mom would say. Anybody else's mom use that phrase, picayune? All right. Almost there. Just gonna take the side of mine. Don't have any. So, inside says I promise, and I've stamped that already in the stamp apparatus. And it gets a layer of orchid oasis behind it. And you also have 3 little black gems in there. All right, so then, excuse me, orchid piece on the front. Oops, sorry. Thank you again. Other the people were saying that in my videos it's not close enough, so I'm trying to get it as close as I can without the camera being in the way. But so you want your orchid oasis on the front. Then this piece will just get placed kind of centered vertically. Eyeball it in the middle here. It's even with the width of the orchid oasis.
On camera, Robin, you're a little bit to the right when you're
Like so?
assembling. Come back to the middle a little bit. Better.
And then you're going to put your colored witch's feet on this black layer.
Sorry.
And that's where I say don't glue it on here this way. Turn it over. Those feet upside down. It just gets centered right in the center of the card. Center front. Then the inside. Here for there. Oops. I picked up a straggler here. Hexagonal straggler. There we go. on this. Stamp one of those witches hats there if you like. I think that's too much open space. Some dimensionals on the pumpkin. When you put this on here, you want to make sure that the top of her socks are under the edge of the pumpkin. So it looks like she's really in there and really stuck. And that her feet aren't cut off. All right. And then you have the three little black gems. There. And that's all there is to that one.
Card.
When I saw it, I said, "Oh, too cute! Got to buy the stamp set. Got to do that one."
Yeah, I do have that stamp set and the punch.
Yeah, I didn't buy this stamp set until last month when I saw the card that she made. So it's another Debbie Cronister design. I say her name a lot because I copy her a lot. Alrighty. So next card comes from a lady who calls herself playing with, or Kim plays with paper. That's what she calls herself. But there it is. And all of that is strips from that specialty designer series paper. And I'll show you the colors that I use. This is the Sahara Sand matches. This is soft seafoam. This is Calypso Coral on the back side and copper on the front. And then this other one that I used right here, this Fresh Freesia. So those are the colors I used for that. I used for the ovals, I used the layering ovals dies. But you could also use that double oval punch, which is real nice because you get them both together. And cut out a pool party and a white. And then I used the no, I didn't use that on this one. It's the next one uses that one. So layering ovals. This is the Pool Party organza ribbon, and two regular basic gems. It says thinking of you, and then I made it sympathy with heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. And the inside sentiment is, and outside are both from Quiet Meadow. So here's the thinking of you, and here's the heartfelt. Anything that will fit on the oval that you pick out would be fine. I just thought this was a nice comfort card of some sort. All right, so we have a pool party card base. And we also have a pool party, pool party layer. The reason that I made a layer is so that the ribbon can wrap around the back and not be seen. And then you have a pool party fork bowl. You have two little gems. You have a label and a white oval. And you have 5 or 4 pieces of this DSP cut into, this is just simple 3/4 of an inch by 5. Now, if you decide that you don't want any space between them, you can cut one more strip. 5 strips will fit across this paper without any space between. So if you're having trouble getting proper spacing, you might want to just butt them up together, and you can see here that you wouldn't have to push them apart. They will just, there will be room for a 5th one on here. Right here. I did a little save on paper #1 and a little more color show through. So that's kind of why we opted for the 4 pieces instead of 5. But like I say, 5 pieces will fit on there. There's no space between. So I decided that I was going to put Sahara sand and copper on the outside. So that's what I start to do, is I start putting the pieces on the outside. Now the border on this is just a hair bigger than 1/8 of an inch. So, and then I put the other side on, which I used the copper on the other side. The other side of the paper is very pretty, but of course it's not as pretty as that pretty foil. If you're wanting to find this in the catalog, it's on page 64 of the mini. It's kind of hiding in the back after the Christmas stuff. Want to make sure your bottom edges are as even as possible. And I put a fresh freesia in next. Boy. Some of the flowers have a little bit of a direction. You might not notice it upside down or that, but I want my flowers growing up instead of just flowing down. So now on this one, I'm just going to lay it on here. I'm not going to press it down because I want to check the, you see how my width would be way off on that one. So we're going to move this one over a little. Still have more room. Still is a little more room. I probably should move my outside ones in just a hair more. I take it you tested negative yesterday or Monday when you tested.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, I've been negative for more than a week, but the cough has not gone away, and I've been told that it will linger for up to a month.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's pretty annoying. I apologize. I'm trying real hard not to, but and the hoarse voice goes with it. So
I did not know that you had contracted it.
Barbara, I had my surgery on Thursday. And on Friday, when Gunther came to pick me up at the hospital, he said, I don't know what's going on. I'm like forgetting all kinds of stuff. And I've got this like cold. So when we got home, I said, yeah, test yourself, buddy. And he had it. The following Wednesday, Jeff tested positive. I think I also had it Wednesday, but I didn't have a runny nose or a cough. I just was nauseous, and they thought it was a reaction to the medications,
Yeah.
painkillers that I was taking. And then on Friday, I tested positive because I started with the runny nose and the cough. So I think I actually had it 2 days earlier, because when I looked it up online, one of the symptoms of the new variant is nausea.
Oh, boy.
So I think it was a combination of both actually, but it knocked me back considerably. So it wasn't something I
had
All right, so then we're gonna take this ribbon, kind of lay it across here and see where it's gonna go, and then put some adhesive on the back. And this particular ribbon does really well grabbing hold of the adhesive because it's so sheer. You stretch it across. I didn't give it enough of an end there. So stretch it across, wind the end of the ribbon and glue it into the glue. And then at that point, you can also put some more adhesive on it and put it on the front of the card. Get centered like this is a standard border on here, so just get centered on the front of the card. Now, an extra little thing that I did was I took a glue dot and I kind of rolled it a little bit, and I stuck it under this ribbon, not against the card, but just on the ribbon, and then I pinched it together there so that the ribbon will look like it's gathered together. And it'll make your bow look like it's been tied or all the way around instead of just plopped on top. So another optional thing you can do. I have the Thinking of You, and I stamped that in Coastal Cabana, which is in the same color palette as Pool Party, but it's nice and dark and it shows up a little bit better. So I'm going to put that in the oval. Oh, okay. And I don't need you anymore, glue dots. I do need you though, but I'll put two of the other ones on. Alrighty, and then I'm going to glue this white oval to my Pool Party oval. Okay. Put a couple dimensionals on the back. You want to get a little to straddle the ribbon too, so I'm going to cut 2 of these skinny pieces. Probably didn't need to put that one in the middle in that case, but it's already on there. I'm not going to take it off. Off the backing. Finding an appropriate spot for the label. There. Finding my fork bow. Trying to find glue dots. I'm using these micro ones, but it's not, I would have just normally just put one of our regular mini glue dots on it. And then I'm going to put that over where I pinched the bow. So it's like I could put one more. Just stick that over here. You can have your bow turned straight if you want. Kind of like it straddling the label. And then there are 2 little rhinestones here. You can put them anywhere on there if you want. And then the inside sentiment from Harvest Meadow. Interesting. No, I just had that out and showed that to you guys. Hey. Well, tell you what we're going to do. It says thinking of you. It's all thank you. That won't go. I have that mounted up on the plate for it's not here. That one. That one. I have one more somewhere. Hey, hey, hey. Well, what? It gets stamped with heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. I'm not stamp that with something else right now. I don't know where it's at. It's mounted up on one of my plates. I think when my drink spilled that I kind of threw a bunch of stuff around so it wouldn't get wet. And that was probably one of them. Anyway, that is from Quiet Meadow, both of those, the Thinking of You and the Inside Sentiment. All right, so that's that card.
Pretty.
All right. Our last card, I had a very good time with. We thought this was a really nice special card. Sending hugs. This one says with comfort and love. We're going to use the Splendid stems, I think it is. Stylish stems. Stylish stems, I believe it is. And of course, it's going to be the last one. No, Splendid Thoughts. It's missing. It's going to use the Splendid Thoughts stamp set. And you're just going to use this one. And you might want to use the little bee on the inside if you like. I also use the sending hugs. And that's when I put on the one that says sending hugs, I put with comfort and love. And that with comfort and love is from, I believe that one is from the Nature's Prince again. Oh. Another one that looks like that sentiment. Ah, here it is. Oh. It's from A Touch. No, it's not it either. I thought it was from A Touch of Ink, but it's not. Huh. Where is that one from? From this stamp set called Very Best Occasions, right here. So this is a mix of Christmas and some other things. It's got birthday, thinking of you, warmth of the season, endlessly grateful. I believe that's in the Christmas mini. That's where that one came from. Use fresh freesia ink. Everything on this card is fresh freesia, except for this very back card base. I didn't have enough fresh freesia, and I had some of this purple posy from a while back that we never did get the matching ink for. So it's a good way to use that, and it blends in very nicely with the fresh freesia. So that's what I did there. And then this is fresh freesia open wave ribbon. So let us open up this kit. And you will find you'll have a, well, your stencil will look more like that. And one of these pieces. This piece you don't need. You can save this and use it for anything else you might like. You'll have the third largest of the stitched rectangles. You will have a piece of fresh freesia cardstock that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/2, so that it makes a layer behind here. You will have one piece of this fresh freesia Splendid Day Designer Series paper. It's actually the specialty type. So this is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then you will have 1 layer of fresh freesia cardstock for the outside. That is 5 1/4 by 4. And you'll have an inside layer, which is your standard 4 by 5 1/4. And you'll have this little strip, or I'm using it for an accent. These were just cut-offs from cutting this, and I said, I'm not throwing those away. They're too expensive. So there you go. We stamped it on there. All right, so let us get started. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this Splendid Thoughts stamp and using fresh freesia, we'll stamp it anywhere we like and that we think is wonderfully artistic and beautiful on the front of here. Okay, just like so. Followed by either sending hugs or with comfort and love. Do the sending hugs. Yeah. Well, we'll do the sending hugs on the outside and with comfort and love on the inside. And I just put this down here in the corner. So. Okay. Now what you're going to do is either take a sponge dauber or a blender brush. And this is called stencil stamping. So you have your image and you're going to take that stencil that you cut out. Mine has been used many times, so, but you're going to lay this over the flower like this, holding both of those together. You're going to start out here and apply some fresh freesia. It's like a very monochromatic card, but it's just so pretty. Whoops. Try not to do that. And you make this as dark as you want, but you're going to notice that it actually gets a lot darker than you think it is when you pull that off. So there. And I don't think it needs anything more than that. So that's the front image done. Tiny little border here. Then you have your card base. And I'm going to put the fresh freesia layer on. Got done on that one, yep. Centered. Tiny. Oh, this is a more standard. inch. And then comes the designer series paper layer. This could get popped up. I did not. I just put it down flat. It's centered right in the middle. Well, yeah, that's redundant, isn't it? Centered right in the middle. You get centered. Then you'll have 3 little gems. And they by the hugs. Up here by that. And let's see, number 3 can go over there. Not sure. Oh. Stamp your inside sentiment. I had sending hugs, so we're going to use the with comfort and love on the inside. We also put that the same stamp we used on the front of the first card, the best wishes and happy thoughts would go with it, with sending hugs as well. See if I can get this straight. Something else I wanted to do to this one. Put it on here, see if I can get it off then so it doesn't stick. I wanted to use that same flower that we used on the front on the inside corner here. Just stamp it. So adds a little bit. And if you want, there's a little tiny bumblebee in the stamp set. Could use. Already knocked it up. There it is. And make sure he's flying the right way. And that on the inside. Righty.
Very pretty.
Thank you. So that was from Kimberly's. Oh, there's another thing I forgot. I want to put this little accent strip down the side because I didn't want to waste this paper. So where are we putting it? Just wide enough for. Push any excess under. Border. You know what? Don't try to use a rubber eraser and metallic border. Nicht so gut. Alrighty. There you are. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. And I'll turn off the recording. You guys have a nice day.